Welcome to Yokit Sports and Hobbies. I've been debating on posting this one since it technically isn't a sport or a hobby, but getting my grandpa's woodchipper running this year was a huge task that set me back a couple weeks, so I might as well show you guys what I was up to. Sadly, there was quite a bit of footage that was lost, so my apologies for the extreme jump cuts from one season to the next. The chipper dilemma lasted for at least 3 months, but I was only actively working on it for about 10 days or so once I got the spare parts. To start from the beginning, I was simply trying to get a small pile of wood chipped so that the walkways would have a little extra bark on them before the rainy season hit. We have a heavy clay soil which sticks to you and your dog's feet if there's not much organics on top, so every year I try to prep the paths with extra wood chips. Well, I was running the dang thing, but all of a sudden I heard a pop, puff sound, the engine seemingly lost any compression or spark, and there was oil dripping from what looked like the seal around the head of the cylinder. I thought the worst had happened, and I had blown the head gasket after likely blowing one or more piston rings. I packed the wood chipper away in defeat, then looked up some parts diagrams, only to realize the Briggs and Stratton engine had 2 oil fill caps, and, sure enough, the one that hasn't been touched in decades had blown itself off, which ended up being the likely cause of the oil geyser. I ended up finding the cap in the small amount of chips I made. I cleaned it up and got the chipper running again, only to now find that the carburetor was leaking gas to the point where the engine would flood after only 5 minutes of use. I took the carb apart twice and didn't see anything wrong at all. On the third time, it took me bending the rubber conical needle that seats into the brass seat to find the rubber tip was cracked and only sometimes wouldn't seat due to it flopping about. I'm used to the needle side being brass or metal at least, and replacing the needle and seat would cost just about the same as a knockoff carburetor, so I ended up just replacing the whole carb for less than $20. I also got myself a new starter and pulley because the string wouldn't always retract due to a stripped starter and a weak spring. Once I got the Briggs running, I could tell something was still wrong with it. The engine did not sound smooth, and the popping noise it should make was more of a k sound rather than a p sound. I already replaced the oil 2 times to give it a proper change, and I checked the manual to make sure the oil level was correct. It was, so I decided to give it a try. After all, it was running. Well, it was running. But that was extremely short-lived, as within the first few minutes of feeding it material, the engine made a huge pop and stopped working completely. Upon pulling the starter rope, it was clear that the engine had lost all compression. I didn't know this at the time, but I had apparently blown a hole right through the sidewall of the cylinder. I'm not a small engine mechanic, or any type of mechanic for that matter, so I don't know what happened within the motor to cause such damage. But because it was already giving me problems and being older than me and all, we opted to get a replacement engine for it. This would not be an issue whatsoever if I didn't happen to live in the great state of California. For those that don't know, like me at the time, California enacted a ban where you are no longer allowed to purchase a new gas engine if it is under 25 horsepower. This means you cannot buy a new gas lawnmower, chainsaw, weed eater, portable generator, or a replacement engine for anything like, say, your wood chipper, if it produces less than 25 horsepower. For reference, the old wood chipper engine claimed 8 horsepower, so imagine something 3 times as powerful. After looking at our options online and realizing that we couldn't order a new engine, we rushed on down to Harbor Freight to see if the online inventory was correct, and if they indeed had one at the store. They did not. We were told that they had one coming on the next truck and blah blah blah. That's why I was in the inventory. Well, we ended up buying it then and there with only a rain check to show for it. The engine did not show up as expected, and we were told to go to another store 30 miles away, which we did not, as we had not yet known about the ban. We waited and waited to no avail until I just so happened to go to that town 30 miles away to meet my uncle for lunch. Well, I brought my rain check receipt just in case, and I stopped by the store where they too said they had one in stock. I tell the workers what I'm looking for, and all of them seem like it's hopeless. since they haven't seen one in weeks and people have been asking. Well, the younger gentleman signals to me and walks me to the back where he says he might have one hidden. He goes to the employees only portion for the longest 2 minutes I've had in a while, only to return with a smile and a pushcart with, you guessed it, the engine I needed. When we get to the front of the store, the older gentlemen were flabbergasted and one literally said, "Where'd you find that?" I honestly can't describe how elated I was, but I literally could have done a heel click out the door if nobody was there to judge. Now that I finally had my engine, I could finally start working on the wood chipper, which ended up taking a lot more effort than I ever planned. To cut to the point, the engine didn't fit, so I ended up having to weld on some flat bar to give me an extra inch of metal to work with. Drilling, cutting, and shaping the slots for the engine mounts was much more difficult than I originally thought, mainly because my cutting discs were either too fragile or too fine of a grit. I would definitely get some new, reinforced cutting discs if I could do this over again. This would have definitely saved me a lot of time in changing discs, as well as grinding away gingerly. Once everything was fitting how it should, I cleaned off all the grease and oil to prep the new fabrications for paint. I do not want any bare metal to be showing, as the raw steel rusts almost immediately. I was starting to get excited as things were finally coming together, until I went to put the belt on the pulleys. Turns out I measured the length incorrectly. That set me back at least another day. Of course, I lost the footage on the first startup. Boo! But you could hear how nice she sounds after a full day of work. I was really impressed with how the engine performed. A new 10.2 horsepower definitely beats an old, worn-out 8 horse. But the real test does come with longevity. I have a feeling that the new motor won't be nearly as productive as the Briggs and Stratton was. 30 years is hard to beat, even if it wasn't in continuous use. I know fixing my grandpa's wood chipper doesn't qualify as a sport or hobby, but the wood chipper does allow me to be much more efficient in the garden, as it keeps the 100-degree heat off my soil, and it creates a nice place for volunteer plants to start. These are 2 species of milkweed, a plant necessary for monarch butterflies. The wood chips are also my number 1 substrate to grow gourmet mushrooms on. Buying loads and loads of wood substrate just doesn't make sense when you could harvest your own. The wood chipper is an integral part of the operation on the homestead. Without it, the carbon in the wood would simply be burned and released back into the atmosphere, leaving me with only ash instead of a plethora of living organisms, all with their own specific tasks. Well, if you managed to stay till the end of that rant, I applaud and thank you. I understand it is not exactly exciting stuff, but it is my stuff, so I do enjoy sharing it with someone. This video has held me back for a couple weeks as I've been searching for that lost footy with basically no luck. Searching for it, however, has helped me organize some of my content, so hopefully I will be able to edit more videos with smaller gaps in between posts. I have some major catching up to do thanks to life throwing some nasty curveballs, but now seems like the time to at least gain back some of that lost ground. If you enjoyed this video, or any of my content, a like, comment, and or subscribe definitely goes a long way. I'm just starting this channel, so any support really keeps me going. Well, thanks again, and make sure you have fun doing whatever it is that you do.